Спасибо, всех приветствую на докладе.
Hi, welcome to the next presentation. The presentation will be devoted to Windows.
С проблемами при фильтрации событий Windows.
Many of you may have encountered problems in filtering Windows events and doing such analysis. It's important to address a number of questions that are on the slide. Who logged in, what started, and so forth. These questions can be categorized as follows: commercial, utilities, open source. We will be talking about levels 1 and 2. Many of you may have encountered this window, which is designed for event analysis. But quite often, it's not user-friendly enough. The number of lines is limited. Search based on regular expressions is also limited. However, we can rely on pairs of events. An important limitation is that only 20 expressions are supported only. If you do 2 subscriptions, it will not work, and it will not return any error. XPath is also used, and its version 1.0 is used, and its functionality is not full. Some of the features are missing. Only logical operators are present, such as equal, more, less, and so forth. No regular expressions. As I mentioned before, there is no grouping as well. These are a window event for XML. As you can see, it comprises elements, attributes, and values. This being the key values that are required for filtering. And here is an example of event search. We need keyword that's responsible for the beginning of the query. Query ID means that we are beginning from the first one, and there are 2 operators, select and suppress. Select is responsible for selection, and we will touch upon suppress later. In this example, we see that system is the first keyword, which is the root of the section. The next one is event ID, and we specify that its value is 4688, which will yield us all the launched processes. Here is another example where we use OR for an operator, and we can have 2 events, 4688 and 24. Let's make it more complex and try to see what processes were used by hacker. For this, we will use and it's here that we'll see the first problem. We can't address the field name and the username as subject. We need to specify the help path, including the attribute name. And here on the slide, you can see that. The network is over, we engage in event data with different attribute names. In order to specify this attribute name, we have to do the help path. On top of this, it's possible to look for matches for all attributes. For this, we don't specify at, which signifies the name of the attribute. We only specify the value name to find all the processes where it was involved. This is our select 4624, all the login events, and we remove everything with logon type 5. The idea is to remove all the events that match the filter from the sequence. Here, we carry out 2 queries. We see what events have been launched and what of them, what Windows PowerShell events took place in the system. You can see this asterisk here. We can also split into 2 queries, which is great from the perspective of logic. And we can see suppress as the keyword here. Let's consider CMD filtering features. We have tool to manage event logs and filter events, as well as findstar.exe in order to, well, as an example, here we can deal with query request. We see user 1, we log on type 2, and in the second one, we can filter out the users that may have taken part in specific events. Now to PowerShell. It has two utilities for events, get event OU and get win event. Get event is new command lab. The advantage is that we can use PowerShell features and use the filtering tables, such as filter hash table. Here you can see the keywords that can be received by hash table features, but there are some limits. This is an example of get-win-event query. We specify the log and the number of events. This screenshot shows the output. This format is not really different from the one that we will see lower to examine the events, but we can use the command lab get-win event, which makes it more user-friendly. It's also important to understand how the events are presented in PowerShell. Here, the hash table filter is used. This operator can be used, but with add, it will yield a different result. It's also important to see to look at the properties here. This is a list storing all the previously discussed attributes of event data, and we can't address them directly. It is this way that the query looks like. We're looking for 4688. We can't use hash table filters, and in select, we specify the fields that we need. For example, the event time and the process involved. And for this, with underscore dollar, we specify the number of the element in the list from the previous slide. This number corresponds to the sequential number of the attributes. PowerShell allows grouping events, and this is an example of such grouping. This is a network call, and here we group processes such as call initiation, recipient's IP address, domain name, and so forth. And we also specify port 433 to look for suspicious calls to sort out other ports as well. We can also work with sublines. And there are two key command lines in PowerShell, match and like, which help analyzing sublines. In this query, we can look through all the events of this kind. Let's proceed to using filter XPath. It's faster than hash table. If we need to find values for a certain attribute, we can also use with object conveyor. For example, user 1 launch an application. PowerShell allows to format XML events through toXML method, which allows addressing fields based on their names. There is also a converter event log record script, which allows to transform event data events which cannot be addressed directly. For example, we're interested in 4624. We convey it to log record, and we specify that it does not equal pi. In this query, if convert event log record is not used, it will look like underscore dollar. The upper query is much more user-friendly. However, it's much slower as well. PowerShell also allows displaying events like this table. For this, we use out-grid view, but to use it, we have to create a new
Также можем вывести несколько типов событий,
new methods.
но
We can also display several types of events, but with this scenario, we have to keep in mind that when we're looking for different types of events, they may either match or not match. And for this, we will have to filter them out. Let's also look at Live Forensicator, which use third-party binaries. It also uses APT hunters to look for matches and malicious commands. It allows analyzing system entries, logins, event launches, object launches. We can also use Live Falsificator as an example. And this is, well, it's a Windows Event Live Analyzer. This is a PowerShell-based project. Until 2021, they were using their own format based on PowerShell. They are no longer doing that. It's a very good tool to analyze the events. You can see successes, non-successes, admin logins, and so forth. And here is an example of how well it can be used. And this is an example for APT Hunter. The most recent version of Python script supports binary files, which are represented as logs, which can be based on either lists or tables with special commands. Crash-based tables are probably among the most functional ones. They allow using output profiles, IP-based queries, and so forth. And here is an example of an event list. Well, that's basically everything. Thank you very much for your attention. Do you have any questions?
Есть время на 3 вопроса.
We have time for 3 questions.
Вот про последнее, то, что рассказывали по GeoIP, там...
Getting back to the last one, GeoIP. How is it set up? Do we need to use some add-ons? The database, are they free of charge databases or in-house databases? I can tell you right now. So there may be minor details to be kept in mind, right? Yes, that's right.
Еще вопросы?
Any more questions?
Мы футболки дарим за вопросы.
Oh, wow, we give away T-shirts for those who ask questions. Well, that's it. Thank you very much.